And we're back. Alright, so I was going to make another video. Totally forgot what the topic of it was going to be. I thought about it a couple days ago, and I told a couple of you guys that I would make it tomorrow. But now it's like the tomorrow after yesterday's tomorrow, so I'm a few days late. Had a lot of work to do, but now I'm off. I have vacation for 9 days, and we're out here doing this thing, okay? Word. So glad to be back. Glad to be fucking here now, fucking here, making content. One of the suggestions was that I make a video on basically how I knew I was trans, and when I started to kind of hide the stuff that I liked. So we're gonna jump right into that. Every time when I was like 4 or 5, my sister would have her little friends over. See, she's 3 years older than me. I've got an older sister. I'm 28, she's 31. And whenever she would have her friends over, like they would always go do their little makeup parties or whatever, you know, their dress up and play stuff like that. And like, I always wanted to do that. Oh my god. I wanted so hard to just bust in there and be like, me next. We're doing this thing. Let's go. But I was always so scared. I never did it. Usually, like, anything that I thought was feminine, I kind of hid. Anyway, I got older and I realized, like, yo, why do I have to have the beard and like the short hair? Like, I wanted long hair from day one, and my mom kept it kind of long when I was a kid, and whenever I had the choice to say no to getting a haircut, I usually said no. So like moving through elementary school, I noticed like some of the girls were developing chests, and I was jealous. I was super jealous. Like, I wanted to be a part of that crew. I remember the first time a girl that I knew brought like this training bra, I guess, to school, and was like showing me. She was like, yeah, like, I'll have to wear this now. It's crazy, I've never done this before. And I'm like, whoa, that's super cool. Like, I want one, can I get one? And then she was like, no, this is only for girls. And I was so bummed out, like, immediately just shut me down. But I kind of played it off, didn't say much about it. Especially through like when junior high hit, that's when shit fucking, oh my god. Like, in junior high, I was miserable. Like, the amount of random boners that I got was uncalled for. It was totally unnecessary. Hated it. Absolutely despised it. Worst experience of my life, junior high, high school. I only knew 2 trans people in my entire high school experience, but we'll get into that in just a minute. But junior high, like, you know, going over to a buddy's house, like, his mom would leave her jeans up to dry, or like her bras and stuff, and I would put them on, and of course they would be too big, but they were still tight on me. I guess I got kind of tall in junior high. That's whenever my growth spurt really kicked in, but they were still tight on me, and I was like, wow, this feels awesome. Like, I wish my clothes were this tight. What the heck? Like, never acted on that. I just knew that something wasn't right. And then probably in 8th or 9th grade, that's whenever I come to this just like mind-blowing, I don't know what it's called, like, I blew my own mind by saying in my head, like, one day just sitting there I remember I was doing math homework in class, like, while the teacher was going over something. She had just finished explaining something and went over to her desk, and I was sitting there writing on my homework, and I just kind of stopped there for a minute with my pencil, you know, and I was like, I'm a girl trapped in a guy's body. That's what it is. There's been a lot of sleepless nights where I've just thought about that, and like, it bummed me out so much that I just knew there was nothing I could do. In the town that we live in, we don't have any trans resources. We don't have any endocrinologists or gender therapists or doctors that specialize in transgender patients. Like, we have nothing. I have to go like 2 towns over, and even most pharmacies around here would scoff at the idea of me going to pick up my hormones. So I didn't know there was anything I could do about it. I had no idea, like, I could be like, Mom, I feel like this. Let's do something. But whenever I thought about doing that, I was terrified. I was absolutely petrified. I was always really shy, except around my friends. Like, I was a boisterous idiot around my friends, but I was always nervous. Like, I was always shy, nervous, and like timid. And if I was less so timid, shy, then I feel like I would have come out much earlier. In high school, I knew there were 2 trans people in my entire high school, just 2. One I knew from junior high, his name was Kevin, and I met him through a friend, and my friend was like, hey, I met this really cool guy, he's super awesome, but he used to be a girl, he's a guy, he wants to be called Kevin. That's what he wants to go by. And like, I just thought in my head, like, wow, he is so lucky that he gets to do this. Why can't I do this? And mostly it was because I was too shy to fucking say anything. I wish so freaking much that I went back and actually said something. But hindsight, whatever. So through high school, my best friend at the time, his mom was almost exactly my size. We were the same height, we had the same waist size, we had the same shirt size. Like, you know where this is going. She would leave her bras out to dry above the dryer, and whenever everyone fell asleep, I would go snatch a bra and I would wear it. And I felt so at home in that, like, just something felt right. And like, her shirts, they fit me so good. And like, when I looked down and seen like a shirt like this, something I wouldn't dare to wear in public or to school, I was so happy in it at home. And like, I knew I couldn't tell anybody about this, or I would be the laughing stock of the entire county. After high school, like, I knew by then 100% I was trans. I knew I hated my bottom area so much. It always got in the way. I hated the way it looked. And I've been with a number of women. A lot. At one point in time, my entire goal was just to see how many girls I could get with. And like, none of my relationships worked outside of that fact. Like, when I was dating someone, I kept the number thing at bay, but none of them worked, my relationships. And I feel like that was because I was trying to find a piece of myself in the women that I was dating or that I was hooking up with, one night stands. They had what I wanted, and I wanted them, I guess. I don't know. It's really weird. It's a weird situation for me, but I feel like I was trying to fill a void in my soul by vicariously living through them. And it never worked out. That's why I kept going back for more. So after high school, like, I wanted to do something about it so bad, but I lived with my grandparents and I knew I couldn't say anything because they were hardcore Christians. They go to church every Sunday, they wear their Sunday best every day, and they never cuss, they don't do anything. They don't smoke, they don't drink. Imagine like your standard Christian binary household. That was them. That's them. Okay? If I showed up one day with my nails painted and I thought my grandma was going to have a fucking cow, alright? There's no way I could come out as trans to them. So, I hit it, and well into my 20s I was still fighting the same battle. For years and years, it had my feelings about it had surfaced, and I'll push them back. I'll be like, no, there's nothing I can do about it. Fuck it. Go away. I'm done. We're not doing this. And they would subside. A year later, they would come back 3 times as strong as before I kicked them to the curb the last time. And I would kick them back again. Sorry, low battery. Sorry. But I would kick them back again. And they would always come back stronger than they were before I pushed them away. And I didn't have to question whether or not I was trans. Whenever I discovered that term, transgender, whenever I heard it the first time, I knew that was me immediately. I knew it immediately. But just like all these other trans girls that usually talk about this, the image that trans women mostly were portrayed in like movies and stuff was really bad. Like, they were usually the person who is cheating on somebody with, or like the escort or whatever. And like, I was nervous that people would see me for something like that when it wasn't like that at all. I was in the wrong body, and that's it. I wasn't trying to get one over on anybody. I wasn't trying to steal from people or be some kind of fucking predator. I just wanted to be happy in my own skin. And that was hard to deal with for a long time, thinking that I couldn't do anything about it. But, you know, mid-20s, I decided to start looking into it. I told some people. I told some people I probably shouldn't have told. At the age of 27, ripe old 27, last December, one of my other trans friends told me how I could get my letter of recommendation, which I thought I needed. If you watch one of my previous videos, you know that whenever I went to go get my hormones at the consultation, I did not need a letter of recommendation. I'm glad I got it, like I said though. That move was so big. I got my ears pierced the same day. Like, on my way back from getting my letter, I got my ears pierced as like a celebratory symbol kind of thing. And I thought I was set after I did that. But when I went to look for a doctor, I couldn't find a doctor that was accepting new patients. I couldn't find a doctor who specialized in transgender therapy. Not therapy, but you get what I'm saying, treating transgender patients. It took months for me to find a doctor who was willing to accept new patients, and a transgender one at that. And I'm super happy with my doctor right now. Like, she is so good to me. She's such a good person. Just in October is when I started hormones. October 31st is when I took my first dose. But that's basically kind of sums up the story. I'm pretty sure I'm leaving some stuff out. I know while I'm editing this, I'll probably remember a couple that I could have said, but I waited far too long to do anything about it after I knew I could do something about it. And because of where I live, I didn't really have any resources, and I didn't think to look it up or anything on the internet. So I was stuck in a very bad mental place. But I'm no longer there. I'm on my way to Bob Rossing my entire life. It's a happy little bird, it's a happy little tree. Every tree needs a friend. If you have any video suggestions, please let me know, because I keep forgetting mine. I don't know. Just shoot me a comment, let me know what you want to see. Bye.